All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm gonna be ranking the top 10 forms of cardio that you can use for weight loss. Over the years, I've tried just about every single form of cardio trying to get abs. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you based on my experience, which ones I believe are great to do, which ones I think are okay, and which ones I think are a waste of time. If that sounds good to you, then let's get started. If y'all are ready for an epic video underway, then as always, man, I'm ready to do it for you. Let's do it! Yeah! Number 10 on our list is going to be one of the simplest forms of cardio, which is just simply walking. That's right, folks. The thing you do every single day, walking. And typically when we're discussing cardio workouts, we're breaking it up into, 20, 30, 40-minute segments where you're just doing the specific exercise. And out of any form of cardio, for the pros, it's very low impact, so it doesn't put a lot of pressure or stress on your joints, your knees, anything of that nature. It's really easy for beginners to go for a 20-minute, 30-minute walk, a great starting point. And as far as cons go, walking really only has one big con, which is that if you segment off a specific amount of time to do your cardio workout and you choose walking, then you'll literally be burning less calories than any other higher intensity cardio method. And because of that, we put walking at number 10. Number 9 is going to be the exercise bike. Now, I want to be honest with you guys. I have tried and tried to get into the bike, and I could just never, no matter how hard I tried, get it to work for me. If I was trying to keep a slow, steady pace, I didn't feel like I ever even got an elevated heart rate, wasn't breathing heavy. If I tried to pedal really fast, it felt awkward, it started to hurt, and still even then, it felt like more of a leg workout than a cardio workout. So for the pros, once again, for a beginner, it's a pretty easy form of cardio to get into. It can help work out your legs while you're doing it if you simply crank up the resistance a little bit, and it'll burn more calories per minute invested than just walking. And for the cons, at least in my experience, it can be hard on your knees, especially if you're putting in those long sessions, your 30 or 40-minute ones. And then the other big one, at least for me, was in order to burn a meaningful amount of calories, you had to pedal faster and crank the resistance up, which in turn made your legs sore, and you ended up not finishing the cardio workout because your legs gave out before your lungs did. Overall, I think it could be a cool place to start for people, but I think per minute invested, it's definitely not your best choice. I rank it number 9. At number 8, we got an old favorite of mine, the elliptical. Some of my first cuts I ever did, the first time I ever really took this stuff seriously, elliptical was all I did for cardio. And truth be told, for the most part, I enjoyed it. Some pros are that it's not too hard on your body. And also due to the mechanisms of how the machine works, you're kind of getting an arm workout and a leg workout at the same time. It may not be super intense, but it counts. And you're also able to crank the resistance up so you can actually make it harder as you get more used to doing it. So it easily scales with your progression as your cardio gets better. Now for the cons, even though this is still better than walking in the exercise bike, compared to a lot of other options, you're still not gonna burn as many calories as you could be otherwise, even if you got it cranked all the way up. And for some reason, I really started getting bad lower back pain every time I'd get on the elliptical, to the point where it got unbearable and I couldn't even finish the session. And like I said, not sure if it's that, whatever we call this thing, but it really messed with my lower back. And like a wise doctor once said, if it hurts, you should probably stop. Elliptical lands at number 8. For number 7, we got the good old-fashioned jump rope, America's favorite training montage form of cardio. And to be honest with you guys, this one was hard to rank because there's tons of pros. Jump rope is very cheap to do. You can do it almost anywhere. It burns a ton of calories, and it's really good at making you more coordinated and nimble on your feet, which is why it's the preferred cardio of boxers, because it's all about being light on your feet, nimble, agile, athletic, etc. But now to the dark side. For as many pros as it has, it's got the cons too. While jumping rope may burn a ton of calories per minute invested, it takes a lot of work and a lot of practice and a lot of coordination to get up to where you can go 20, 30, 40 minutes straight. When I got into boxing, it literally, it took me a while to even get to a good, clean 10 minutes straight. So if you're new to it or a beginner, it's gonna be tricky. It can also be very hard on your joints, very hard on your knees, not a very low impact exercise. So if you're someone that's trying to use this form of cardio to lose weight and you have a significant amount of weight to lose, then jump rope is probably not where I'd start. So for all those reasons, it's the number 7. Had to do it. For number 6, we got incline treadmill walk, which is where you get on a treadmill, you crank that incline up, and you walk uphill. Now this one will always hold a special place in my heart because out of all the forms of cardio I'm gonna go over, I've done this one the most. In seconds, not even close. For the pros, this is easy to get into if you're just starting out. It's the same thing as walking on a treadmill, except you're walking uphill. And just like the elliptical, you can scale the speed, you can scale the incline, and as your cardio gets better, you can slowly crank those up to burn more calories per minute invested. And I don't know about you guys' gym, but typically there's a million treadmills and only a few of the other machines, so being able to actually do it while you're there shouldn't be a problem. Now for the cons. While this may be better than just walking, better than an elliptical when it comes to burning calories, it's still not quite as good as other options available. In order to make it better, as I've had to deal with and why I basically eventually graduated out of it, was that by the time you reach your peak fitness level and you max out on that thing and you have to crank it all the way up, you have to set the speed up in order to get where you want, that's when you start noticing the effect it's having on your body negatively, right? For me, I started getting shin splints and I would get strange pain in the back of my heels. And then one time during a cut years ago, I'm not sure exactly what this was, but the bottom of my feet, I would wake up in the morning and like the bottoms of my feet would be in so much pain. I really don't know what was going on. I'm not sure if it was the shoes I was wearing, if it was just doing that 7 days a week, 40 minutes, not sure what it was. But yeah, overall, you look at the pros and the cons. I think incline treadmill walking is pretty good, especially at the more medium incline ranges, and that's why I put it at 6. And for number 5, we got rowing. If you've ever followed anybody that did CrossFit, you've seen them row. Rowing to a CrossFitter is like Jack and Coke to an alcoholic. You can't even let them near it or else they're gonna do it. But in all seriousness, rowing is fantastic. Not only is it a full body workout, you're also burning a ton of calories. It works your back, it works your legs, it works your rear delts, gives you that little pop at the back. It'd be a fantastic form of cardio if it wasn't for the cons. Con number 1 specifically is that unless you're at a CrossFit gym, a lot of gyms just don't have rowing machines. The 3 gyms that I go to around here, unless they're just tucked in a corner, none of them have a rowing machine. So being able to even do it is tricky. Also, something like a rowing machine without, getting really good at it and doing it long enough and building up to it can be hard to really get in those longer sessions, your 30, your 40-minute sessions, without your back giving out, legs getting sore, and it just being overwhelming. And this one too, just like jump rope, does require a little more emphasis on your form. And if you go in there and you're brand new and you just start doing it, especially if you haven't been in the gym in a while, you're just getting started, you could injure yourself. And for those reasons alone, that's why we got to put rowing at number 5. For number 4, we got good old-fashioned running. That thing that we did in gym class, and ever since high school ended, we haven't done it since. For the pros, you can burn a ton of calories consistently with running. It requires next to no equipment, and when it comes to building up your cardio endurance, right, there really isn't anything much better than just consistently running and keeping your heart rate elevated like that. Oh, and finally, I've never experienced it, but apparently you can get a runner's high from running, which, hey, any cardio you can do where you get a buzz raises it up the list. Now for the cons, it's very high impact. If you're not used to running and you try to just pick it up and you try to replace your cardio with it, your knees are gonna hurt, your feet are gonna hurt, your joints are gonna hurt. Heck, you might be hurting in places you didn't even know you had on your body. Like I said, I feel like you're either built mechanically to be a runner or you're not. I ran track in high school. I was a sprinter, 100, 200. I'm good in a short burst. Anything past that, they can keep it. So if you're new or starting with cardio, trying to begin with running could be pretty discouraging. So for all those reasons I just outlined, we got running at number 4. Number 3 on the cardio list is going to be martial arts. And out of the martial arts, I have the most experience with boxing. Now, before you click off of this, martial arts encompasses a ton of things, not just boxing. You got jujitsu, you got taekwondo, karate, basically any form of combat training. I don't know if we're counting WWE, but for the sake of this video, if that's what you're into, we can. Now for the pros, at least in my experience, when I started boxing, I absolutely loved it. I wanted to learn it. I wanted to train it. I enjoyed doing it. And like I always say, if you enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't have to feel like work. And on top of that, regardless of the martial art you're doing, it can burn a ton of calories. It's essentially a full body workout. In the case of boxing, doing drills, hitting the bag, sparring, those were essentially some of the most high intensity cardio sessions I'd ever done. And finally, the mental aspect of it, right? The confidence boost, the camaraderie of training with other people, the community aspect. aspect. All of that's a win-win. With the other forms of cardio, they can be pretty lonely. Now for the cons, martial arts is not for everyone. Definitely takes a certain type of person. On top of that, it can be expensive. You gotta buy equipment, you gotta join somewhere, you gotta make it part of your schedule. That, huge barrier of entry. And probably the most obvious con is that martial arts carry a risk of injury that's not really present in other forms of cardio. With boxing, you got black eyes, you got broken hands. With something like jiu-jitsu, you could just be having a friendly little roll. Ain't nothing gonna happen, we're friends here. Next thing you know, dude cranks the arm bar a little too far, and next thing you know, you're in a cast for 4 weeks. So yeah, I think it's fantastic if it's something you can actually go do and you're consistent with it. So many pros on top of really falling in love with it. But with those cons, I had no other choice. And keep in mind, guys, no matter how much cardio you do, it'll never make up for a bad diet. 80% of your results come from what you're eating, your actual diet, what you're consuming, and 20% of your results come from the gym. So if your idea of losing weight is simply choosing a cardio workout and consistently doing it, it can help. You might see some initial results, but if you're not eating right, you're basically kind of starting it with both hands tied behind your back. And like I just said, when you love what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. And while most people are used to a standard American diet, you're eating pizza, driving through fast food places, eating desserts, all of that's fun. But then you try to transition to like a chicken, rice, broccoli, eggs, and spinach type of diet. I mean, there's no wonder the majority of people that start diets fail. Which is why I think in order to be successful at this entire thing, you need to enjoy the food you're eating. Which is why, for me, the best move was, instead of giving up all the stuff I loved, having intense cravings, binging on the weekends, never really making any progress, instead I decided to make my favorite foods work for me. Instead of avoiding pizza, I eat pizza. I just make the better, healthier version. Instead of foregoing ice cream completely, I just make a high protein, still delicious, better for me version. So if you guys are new to all of this and you want tips on how you should be eating, check out any of the videos on my channel. If you have something you like, I probably got a recipe that shows you how to make the diet-friendly version. And I also got a ton of full day of eating videos, meal plan videos that you can lean on to help you on your journey. And if you want the entire anabolic recipe book from my channel, every video, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, over 350 pages in your pocket, you can always grab a copy of the RGF Anabolic Cookbook at the first link in my description box. If you're ever confused on what you should be eating for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, or what you can have for a dessert, then I'm telling you, look no further than the recipes in here. Cookies, waffles, burgers, pizzas, pastas. This thing is loaded with high protein, diet-friendly foods. This is how I eat. This is how I ended up turning it into a lifestyle instead of a quick little diet that as soon as I hit my results, I quit following. This literally, for me, was a game changer. And I know if you follow us in here, you truly do. You will see results no matter what. You just gotta do it. And the best part about the book is every time I drop a new recipe on the channel, it gets added to the book for free. You just go get your updated copy. So for as long as I keep dropping new recipes or I die tragically, this thing will continue to be updated. All you gotta do is get it once. If that sounds good, hit the link down below to check it out. All right, moving on to number 2. I know some of you have been waiting on this one the entire video, wondering where it'd rank. And here it is. At number 2, we have the good old-fashioned Stair Stepper. I truly believe that out of all the cardio equipment available at the gym, pound for pound, minute for minute, calorie for calorie, Stair Stepper is the best machine in the gym that you can use all around to maximize every single minute invested in your cardio. Some of you guys may remember when I went on that run and I did 40 minutes of Stair Stepper every single day for like a year straight. Stair Stepper was something I truly fell in love with. For the pros, it burns a ton of calories. All you gotta do is hop on it, even on the lowest settings. Do it for a minute and it's almost impossible to not start breathing heavy. It's also indirectly a core workout. Not a crazy one, but having to stabilize yourself while you're walking upstairs does work your core. And that's not all. It's a great leg workout. I really think when I look back at pictures that during that period I was doing a ton of Stair Stepper, that's when my legs look the best. And this final one does apply to really most forms of cardio, your treadmills, your ellipticals, your exercise bikes. But for me, being able to just sit my phone up on the little console, play a Netflix show, YouTube video, that was huge and really helped pass the time, especially during those 40-minute sessions. And especially if you find like a series you really like and you tell yourself you'll only watch it at the gym. That makes you really look forward to your next cardio session. And as far as cons go, you know, there's really not a ton. It's not the lowest impact cardio on here, but I wouldn't say it's difficult by any means. Even if you have quite a bit of weight to lose on those lower settings, it's still a heck of a workout. You're still gonna burn a ton of calories. The only real thing I can knock on it is that there was never a ton of stair steppers at the gyms I went to, so sometimes getting one was easier said than done. Overall, I think stair stepper, if you're doing cardio on a machine at the gym, is your best option, which is why I put it at number 2. And I know what some of you guys are thinking. You're like, well, if that's what you're telling us is the best, then what's number 1? What in the world could that be? And what I'd say to that is, that's a great question. Let's go ahead and get to that. Number 1 is gonna be the secret sauce to get those final few pounds off at the end of all my cuts, which is high intensity interval training, or HIIT for short. Now here's the thing about HIIT cardio. It's not so much that it's a specific machine or a specific workout. HIIT is a modification you can make to any of the cardio workouts we just went through. It involves going through periods of lower intensity cardio, let's say 60 seconds, and then ramping it up and doing 60 seconds of a higher pace that's more exhausting, and then you ramp it back down after 60 seconds, back to the low pace. You recover, you ramp it, you go, you drop, you recover, rinse and repeat. And this one is clear number 1 because it's simply just an upgrade to whatever cardio you're already doing. And when it comes to cons, really the big one, and one that I've definitely experienced, is that when you really start cranking up that intensity on the other end and you're trying to burn as many calories as possible, and the intensity of those sessions goes up, they become much harder to just recover from in general. They're very exhausting, very taxing on the body. And if you're doing something like high intensity interval sprints, or you're sprinting all out for 60 seconds with a 60-second rest, by the end of that thing, you're gonna need a nap. So overall, bang for your buck, calories burnt, time invested, HIIT training takes the clear number 1. And that, folks, is gonna wrap this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Smash that thumbs up button. It's actually mealtime for me. And back to enjoying your diet. I know y'all love candy bars, right? Well, what if your protein bar was literally a protein-packed candy bar? I'm talking about the ANABOLIC and the new Death by Peanut Butter flavor. Look at that. Coated in chopped Reese's Pieces, covered in peanut butter. Oh, pulls apart like a baked good. And I'm telling you guys, if you don't like regular protein bars and you have your doubts about this one, stop. It really is the world's best tasting protein bar. I eat them every single day. There's something about talking about cardio workouts that makes you hungry. If you want to try the world's best tasting protein bar, the ANABAR, you can visit theanabar.com. My code RJF10 will save you money. We're in a ton of retailers: HEB, GNC, Vitamin Shop. We're available on Amazon. iHerb.com now ships ANABARs internationally. And if you want to see if a store near you has it, there's a store locator on our website, theanabar.com. I know if you try it, you'll truly love it. It really is the best tasting protein bar ever created. And regardless of which flavor you go with, because we got a few, I know if you try them out, you won't regret it. If you ever like the clothes I'm wearing, boom, wasn't expecting that. Like these Young LA shorts, literally all I wear, pockets for everything. These ones even got like zipper pockets. If you go for a run, nothing falls out. Look at that, boom. They got all the details too. They don't miss nothing, look at that. And this is one of their cut-off shirts. They do the cutting off for you so you don't ruin them. But they got tons of shirts with sleeves too. It's just guns out season, so it's kind of all I wear. But they got tons of stuff, men, women, children, quite literally everybody. I love them. It literally is all I wear. I vouch for them 100%. You want to check them out, youngla.com. My code RJF will save you money. And finally, if you want me to work with you, be your personal trainer, make you a meal plan, make you a training plan, you can head over to my website, remingtonjamesfitness.com. I'll send you over a questionnaire. You fill it out, I assess you, I break the numbers down, I build you a personalized plan that as long as you follow, you'll see results no matter what. You just got to do it. And make sure you subscribe to my second channel, link in description. By the time this video drops, my new music video should be out over there. So if you like music, if you like hip hop, head over there and check it out. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you as always. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see everyone with the next video. See you guys. We gone.